AG, welcome to the Commerce Talks podcast again, live from the Seamless conference in Riyadh. And now we're talking about another industry again for today. So I'm learning a lot about different industry because you're the best man who can explain me why Toyota is so successful here in Riyadh. And I don't see any Mercedes or BMW or barely any of them. You're the country manager, you're a country manager for SellAnyCar. For the German listeners here, the equivalent concept in Germany is Auto 1, which was like fairly discussed and broadly discussed in our community. But please take some time, introduce yourself and SellAnyCar.
Sure. So my name is Anuvrat Gaurav, but for easier conversation, you can address me as AG, like all my friends do, all my colleagues do. It's a difficult even for Indians. And I've been in Dubai since 2008. Before that, I was in India working for retail. I shifted in 2008 and it's been almost 15 years that I have been here. Most of my experience is from retail. So I have worked with the largest electronic group in the region for 5 years. After that, I shifted to another group also in retail. So I shifted from electronics to sports and lifestyle. That was another experience that I had. And in 2019, I got this experience or the opportunity to join SellAnyCar group, which at that time was very new to me because I didn't know automotive and my core experience was not of e-commerce. But our founder, Segin Yalchin, spoke to me and the only question I asked him in return was why me? Because I don't know e-commerce. I'm not an e-commerce expert. His response was, this is why we want fresh eyes. We want someone from retail. We want to grow our business and we need someone with a different perspective. So with SellAnyCar, I have been there with 3 years. It's a fabulous 3-year journey that I have had with him and hopefully more to come.
And the Auto 1 business, I know a bit better, but maybe you can explain me what the difference is or if it's working like the same way. I think they're offering like a valuation of the car, buying it instantly, when you're bringing the car to some of their like collection points and then try to flip it within like, I don't know, 14 days, 10 days, in the market, selling it, I don't know, to the Egyptian market, to the Polish market, to whatever. So they're kind of a cleaning facility in the market, or clearing facility in the market, but obviously their balance sheet is rather huge because they still need the money to buy the cars. Is the business of SellAnyCar similar to that?
Actually, I'm glad you asked this question. Our business is nothing like it. I proudly say that we sell the car before we even buy it. So the platform that we have created is not about flipping cars from one region to other or from one person to other. The company was created on a sole need to provide hassle-free experience to the customers. So if I take a minute to explain the concept. So in 2013, when Segin tried to sell his own car, the experience was very rough. He had to go to the car market, which is not exactly a healthy place. He had to deal with 20 different people, 10 different people test drove the car and they test drive in their own respective way. And the value of the car that he received was not exactly fair because these are guys who are trying to get the best deal. He thought of it as a problem and he decided to build a business where he can provide a hassle-free experience to all the customers. So what we actually do is, if you are a customer and you are trying to sell your car to us, we actually come to your place or you can visit any of our nationwide branches. We evaluate your car, our trained inspectors evaluate your car, click the photographs and upload it in a portal that we have created. Now on that portal, we have, for example, 1,000 dealers looking at your car at the same time. These dealers are experts in buying and selling cars, so they know the right value of the car. What they are doing in the next 15 minutes is they are bidding on the car, and if you bid 10,000, the other one bids 11,000, the third one bids 12,000. So this way the auction price keeps on going up until it reaches a fair value for the market. The customer is then shown that price and the deal is done there and then. It's an excellent way of doing a transaction where a customer doesn't have to go for a test ride with 15 different people, answer calls, or even go to the government agencies for signing the document.
So customers seeing the price, let's say 15K, we settle on 15K, and then he says, okay, that's a price I'm okay with. And then you're selling the car to this price and you're keeping a margin.
Yeah, of course, we keep a small margin with us.
The small is as much. It must be like, you must eat.
It is sustainable. Right? It is sustainable. Let's just put it. But, see, in the process, what is happening? The idea is, The focus is not on the margin here. The focus is on everyone should win. So there are three partners in this game. There is a seller, which is the customer and consumer. There is a buyer, which in this case is a dealer. And then there is a facilitator, us. So we are not a buying company. We are a marketplace. So we provide and facilitate the process for everyone. So everyone is winning here. The customer is happy because he got a fair price of the car. So if he would have gone into the market, he would have probably got only $5,000. With us, he gets $15,000. The dealer is happy because he is seeing so many inspections and so many cars. A choice, he will never get a choice. Anyone sitting in the showroom will never see thousands of cars in a month. We get thousands of cars in a month, which these guys have the opportunity to buy for. And obviously, we are happy because we are facilitating, we are joining the dots, we are completing the gap which is there in the market. We were the first online platform there. So the times were tough at those times.
UAE.
In UAE, yeah. So in UAE, we were the first ones. So at that time, I'm sure I was not there, but at that time, I'm sure Sagan would have found it difficult to implement the idea, execute the idea. Because SellAnyCar as a trendsetter in that sense, we changed how the market was operating. We went from an offline, one guy offering you a price to an online auction where so many people are buying. One more thing I would like to add here. So one important thing that you mentioned was that other companies are actually buying the inventory and clearing it over a period of time, which means they need a lot of cash. Which means that they
have a heavy balance sheet. Yeah.
Heavy balance sheet stuck in an inventory which is depreciating all the time. It's not an appreciating asset; it's a depreciating asset. So every month you would expect the inventory to depreciate by 2 to 2.5%.
It was appreciating for the last 18 months, I think. When there was after the market was around.
Yeah, it's true, and it still is in some cases. It still is, but generally it's a depreciating asset. So you take 2 months to sell that car, the value drops by 5%. What we are doing is we are not buying the car; we are just facilitating. We are a marketplace, so we are not invested into a very heavy inventory. We have already sold the car to the right guy who can resell the car to the right person before we even bought the car.
About what kind of volumes are we talking? Like how many cars are you dealing via this platform a year?
Yeah, so I won't be able to share any numbers here for sure, but I can very securely tell you that we are the number one in the market and our market share is growing. So these are two different things.
I do like a back of the envelope calculation. Then you say there's a couple of thousand dealers. They only will come if they buy at least 2 cars a year. Let's say 2,000 dealers, 2 cars, average selling price 20,000. That would be like the GMV. 2,000, that's 4,000 times. That's that's in the billions already.
So, I wouldn't say yes, I won't say no, but we are nowhere close to the numbers, because I said thousands of dealers, I didn't say 2,000, an assumption. But yeah, anything, on a more serious note, anything related to numbers, I won't be able to share any data on that. But the two important parts here are we the number one? Yes, we are. But more importantly, are we growing? And this is what we want to see, that are we growing in the market? Is our business increasing with the increasing demand? A lot has changed. You mentioned the pandemic. A lot has changed post-pandemic. So are we growing in that sector? Are we declining in that sector? We are growing. We are happy to share we are growing.
How many people are working for SellAnyCar?
So we, in a group, I think we are close to 400 employees that we have.
Focused on the UAE region or other regions too?
So UAE and KSA, but our headquarters are based in UAE.
Okay. Can you tell me why the German car brands are not so successful? Because if I'm watching the streets in Dubai or like here in Riyadh, it's like, I don't know, 40% Toyota, Lexus, 80% when it comes to premium cars seems to be like a Lexus. Then you have a couple of US brands, so it looks very like US familiar here, and very few Mercedes and BMW.
I actually disagree with that, because German cars are in demand here. It is true that Toyota is the number one brand for the region. They love Toyotas here. They love everything Japanese here. So now we are into the generation of smart watches. But when I came, smart watches were not that popular. They were just starting to do the smart watches. They used to love the German watches brand. They used to love anything Japanese, because they have built a quality name. But so have Germans. So anything related to German comes with quality. So the German cars are in demand here actually. It's not that they don't. The thing is that you have to understand the market. For example, you are talking about Saudi. Saudi has 25 million of population here. They want cars where they can drive on the road, but they can also take off-road. Camping is big here. Desert safaris are big here. Now is the season to start. From November till February, March, they will all go out with their friends and family. That is where these Toyotas and I would say Nissans, even the Petrols, they love the Jeep Wranglers. All these brands come into play. Difficult to take a Mercedes sedan there. In fact, if you see the premium taxi operators, all use the Lexus and Mercedes.
Yes.
Yeah. So on the roads, they are on demand. For someone who uses for both, I go for camping, and I have a Toyota incidentally, I have a Jeep Wrangler incidentally. I don't have a Mercedes. My brother has Mercedes, he doesn't go for camping. But that's, the customer clientele is so different from region to region that you will understand.
Well, I understand you cannot share like any numbers from the platform, but what is your perception like on the growth capabilities of those markets? Let's say there's like here's 45 million people are living in the region and we have, let's say, 10 million cars, whatever the real numbers.
Sure.
So what do you think is like the growth, potential? Because the more cars are sold, new cars are sold, the better it's for your website because, eventually they will end up on your website, to be resold.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, the trend is already changing. So I was reading a study in 2017 for the region where the ratio of a new car to an old car was 3:1. So every 3 new cars sold were equal to 1 old car being traded. And it was expected at that time that the ratio will become 1:1 by 2024. And then it will become 3:1 in the years later. I think we are already fast approaching that stage. In the last 1.5, 2 years, what has happened is that the pandemic has changed the preference of customers massively. And in 2 ways. One is, the supply has been very short due to the chip shortage. So the new supply with the brands has not been there. I know for a fact that there are brands who still do not have a supply. They are coming in short supplies. And the second reason is that, all of us started looking at our expenses in a different way. Everyone is holding on to their money with the news of Feds increasing the interest rates. It has a global impact. So the market share of the second-hand market has grown massively in the last 2 years. Good for us, either ways. You sell a car, you buy a car, we offer both the services. It's good for us. But I think the market in this region is getting balanced between new cars and old cars. It's not shifting towards new cars.
And for how long are people holding new cars when they're buying a new car? When do they switch?
So it depends on a particular segment. And if you say it as an average, the average age of a car in the industry would be around 7.2 years. But if you talk about the premium range, it's 4 years. So the higher the price value, the more the turnover.
What happens like with the cars that are not sellable anymore here in the market? Because like the Germans tried to get rid of the cars into Ukraine before the war, obviously, or Africa. It was like where the old Mercedes and the old Opels and old Volkswagens went. What happens to a car when it's...
So in our business, we say we buy any car in any condition. So we'll buy your car even if it is not starting. We'll buy a car if it is dead, if you cannot move it. And in this part of the region, specifically in UAE, you have to register your car. So if your car is not registered, it is illegal. So you have to renew the registration. So it becomes an expense. You're not driving, your battery is dead or your engine is dead. You're not able to drive the car. But you have to renew it on a yearly basis. So it's an expense. So it's preferable that customers come and sell. We buy those cars. What do we do with these cars? Well, I said we have a network of thousands of dealers who are buying these cars. So these dealers are based, some of them in UAE, some of them in KSA, but many of them in Oman, many of them in Egypt, many of them in Iraq, and multiple countries. So these dealers are exporting these cars to their respective markets and making money in their respective markets. At our platform, what we are saying is that because it didn't come to the inventory, we have partners who are buying cars from us and directly goes outside.
Nice. And but do you find enough talent for those 400 people? Like because the business is growing, right? And and we are only talking about headquarter talent, though we are not talking about people running the shops, right?
No, I told you everything included.
It's all everything included.
Yeah.
But do you find enough talent like to fill the growth demand?
The major focus, we like to call ourselves the tech company. So the major focus is on technology. Hiring people who can build new technology for us or can keep us updated. We are okay in that, not a problem. Where we do face problem is I mentioned that the sourcing inspectors who come and inspect the car, sometimes we do struggle in that. And for example, if I want to hire in terms of I want to hire females for sourcing team, sometimes we do struggle. How we have balanced it out is that we hire now people who are good in customer service, who are excellent in customer service. We bring them on and we have a 1-month training program where we train them on the technical part of it and the technical skills of that. We have a very good training program. We have a hub where we have the cars coming in and going all the time. So before these guys speak to any of the customers, these guys are trained on the floor for 30 days before they are allowed to speak to any of the customers. So the training programs that we have are very strong.
Do you see lots of expansion potential for the business into like other regions outside of rural?
Absolutely. At the beginning of our discussion, I said that we are the number one in UAE, but UAE has a population of 10 million, and I'm talking about Saudi. Like Saudi is 35 million. So, which gives me the opportunity to introduce you to the brand that we have in Saudi, Kaisha. So,
what is what
Kaisha? So, it's the same business as SellAnyCar, which has been customized to Saudi needs. Kaisha actually means kashif, so it resonates with this, with the language that Saudis speak. But the model is pretty much same. SellAnyCar, we have a fully functional operational model that we brought to Saudi market, and we are trying to expand here. Of course, we will customize it to the Saudi needs, to the Saudi customer feedback, to the Saudi dealer feedback. But we are already here, and we see a huge potential. And everyone's focus is UAE, but Saudi is a potential, Qatar is a potential, tomorrow Egypt could be a big potential. So yeah, I see a huge potential in the second-hand market, especially when the segment itself is increasing. I do say that it's an unorganized sector because the concrete data, it's difficult to get concrete data because of the reasons that I said, but that segment itself is increasing.
What is your competitor? Are these kind of the car dealers that are like sitting around those corners where you drive your car, which is like always kind of a bit shady because you know that they try to get the best price for them? Is this your main competition still in UAE, or because when I was in Dubai, I haven't seen any of those car dealerships outside.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that they are our direct competition. See, I was researching online, and I can share it very transparently because the information is available online. I went online to see how much competition do I have in UAE. I found 22 online retailers, or I should say brands, which are doing the same thing as us. Some of them have copy-pasted our terms and conditions. Some of them have even copy-pasted our colors. So there is no original idea, and no one has the base of, see, this thing works in 3 different segments. So there is us, there is a seller, and there is a buyer. So the number of inspections that we get on our platform, no one else is able to have. And the number of partners that we have, the dealers who are buying across the globe, not only in UAE, no one else has the network. So if you're asking who is the competition, I can comfortably say that online we are still leading. Now the heat is increasing. There are more people who are entering the fray, and we will have to keep ourselves updated. Otherwise it will get tough. As far as the offline transactions are concerned, the dealers who are in the market, I think that everyone is getting online. Those who are not online will have to shift online because the things are changing very, very fast. Everyone is moving e-commerce, and if you ask me how was you might remember that 20 years ago when there was a courier delivery, it used to take a month's time and it would come to you in a truck. And 10 years ago, maybe the time that reduced from 30 days to 7 days, and it started to come in fast vans. Today I'm getting deliveries on bikes, and I'm getting it in 15 minutes. And I won't take names, but if you talk about some of the online retailers, the marketplaces in UAE, I can order a soda or a chip right now and I could get it in 15 minutes by paying the price. So everyone has to get updated. In pandemic, whatever had not changed had to change because now everyone was online. No one was allowed to go to market. And I'll give you a live example how we also have to keep ourselves updated. During pandemic, the entire country was under lockdown for obvious reasons. No one was allowed to go outside. Our business became zero, right? We had to renovate ourselves. We had to innovate ourselves where we said, okay, if a customers were scared. They wanted to sell their car, but they're not willing to come to the malls, to our branches. We said, okay, we'll introduce something. We brainstormed and we came up with something called a free home inspection. So when a customer is not willing to come to a mall or to our branch, we said, we'll come to your place and we'll inspect the car to your place. This is just a live example of where everyone needs, including us, we need to keep ourselves updated with the market demand.
Got it. Dubai is also known for like a very high density of supercars and sports cars. Is it also like a segment you're seeing in your shops, or is it like a totally different market you don't even touch?
No, it is. And I'm glad you're asking me these questions, because this is an excellent example. I was just telling you 10 minutes ago that we buy any car, where even if the car is dead, we'll still buy it. The same way, on a weekly basis, we get these supercars where we are buying Rolls-Royce, we are buying Lamborghinis and Ferraris on a weekly basis. It's not that one car a month. It happens on a weekly basis because customers trust us. They know that we'll get the right value of their cars. I can comfortably tell you that we buy cars from 1,500 dirhams to 1.5 million dirhams easily.
But your network is big enough that let's take an average Lamborghini where maybe the sticker price was like 300. Now, like a year later, it's like only $200,000, which is, I don't know, what is it like in dirham? Like 700,000. So, and you say the liquidity in your dealer network is big enough that even for such a car, there's enough bids to come to a fair market price after like half an hour?
That will only happen if you have a largest network of dealers. So
but it works for you.
Yeah, it does. So see, the thing is, whenever there is a monopoly, you will not get the right rate. I come from a country of 1.3 billion population, India. There is no monopoly in any sector. I can proudly say that India has the cheapest internet in the world. Why? Because there are multiple players online. Cheapest internet. Exactly what monopoly does to countries, or I should say the lack of monopoly can bring to the market and to the customers. The same thing goes with us. Any car which is thrown in, we have got multiple dealers bidding on the car. And that is how the right price of the car is determined. Otherwise, what's the difference in you taking your car to some dealer on the street and selling it online?
Obviously, I'm following a couple of like car channels on YouTube, and then you see this documentaries about like the car graveyards that are like collected from the Dubai government because somebody didn't pay taxes or whatever. Some criminals in you have huge areas, parking lots with cars. Was the government ever trying to work with you, saying, okay, we need to liquidate all those cars. We want to have the money, and you are saying you're taking any car. Here it is.
Yeah. So we do that a lot, actually. At the times that you're talking about, these must be old documentaries that happened around 2010 when people left a lot of cars at their airports, but those times are gone.
Why? I forget the reason. Was there a reason why they left?
There was a recession that was happening from 2008 to 2010, and retail was not impacted, but there was a big dip in the real estate in this region, which since then has only gone up. But there were a lot of people who left their cars and just left without paying their loans or without returning their cars. But I think that situation is over. But if the question is that, do we buy fleets? Do we buy in large quantities? Do we work closely with the government? 100% yes. When we actually, all our transactions are linked to the government. We have to try to transfer the car. So we have very sweet relationships with the government agencies as well. And every now and then we do projects. We have fleet cars. For example, there could be a car rental company who wants to upgrade 100 cars in their fleet. He wants to sell 100 cars. Now, how many dealers can you find in the market who can buy 100 cars in one day from you? But because we have a large network of dealers, we can't do that.
Got it. There's lots of liquidity. And I know you don't want to share like too many numbers, but like, can you give like us an understanding of how many of those cars are then sold domestically? Like, let's say UAE, like as one country. It's not, but it's like, let's say it's one country. When you're selling like your used Toyota whatever to the platform. So what is the share of this Toyota sold into the UAE to another customer versus like getting exported, I don't know, to Egypt, India?
Yeah, fair enough. So I can share some numbers on that, but see, it all depends on the condition of the car. For example, a particular country may have a rules and regulations that any car which has met with an accident will not be imported.
Yeah.
Or any car which is 5 years older cannot be imported. Or any car which has run more than 250,000 kilometers, which means a taxi, they will not take it. Some countries don't have that restriction. So some countries see more of export than others. But I'll say a major chunk of these cars are being utilized in UAE itself. but even the export is in double digits because it's a network of dealers, and we know when they are buying cars, they are buying for a particular country. I forgot to mention, Lebanon is another country where a lot of our cars are going, apart from Egypt, apart from Saudi. Saudi, we have our own business, so we see it is happening. We have a network of dealers in Saudi.
When did you start in Saudi?
Saudi, we started 2 years ago, and we are expanding now a big time. This is actually the reason why
there was no other big platform doing it here in Saudi?
Yeah, in Saudi, there is no big platform which is there. So again, in the market, we are the pioneers. Now, whether we can keep up the pace, that's what we are trying.
Nice, really nice business. I've learned a lot. Again, one of the podcast guests was saying there's so many like macroeconomic trends that are helping you growing into that. So even if you don't gain any market share, your business will grow like at least like 10-15% a year. And would grow even more when the car industry could deliver more cars.
Absolutely. See, but that doesn't mean that we should sit idle. We have been in the business for about 9-10 years in this line.
When was it founded?
It was in 2013. So
So
we are almost there, about 10 years. And there's a lot of data, there's a lot of customer feedback, there's a lot of learnings that this business has taken. So what we did last year is also interestingly, on the basis of the customer feedback, and we do that a lot. We do a lot of customer focus groups to listen to their pain points. We launched a new brand called CarNap, last year in November. We are again fast approaching the first anniversary. That brand only sells cars. So SellAnyCar is for buying cars from customers, but the CarNap is a brand which sells cars to the customers because we already know that, for example, that Toyota is the fastest running car. We have that data. We also know what colors the customer want. We know whether they want a crossover or
then you're competing with your own dealers.
I wouldn't say competition because it's such a big market, untapped market. It's a growing business. And it's not that there is an unfair mean which is taken. These are two different businesses. Competition is when a marketplace picks up a technology or a product from something else and launches their own product at a cheaper price. We don't do that. Even if there is competition, it's actually...
So CarNap is like also part of the bidding process. And if CarNap comes to like a higher price than any other, then they are getting...
Yeah, because the idea is that at the end of the day, if you have to make money, right? There's no point of buying cars if you have to sell it at a loss. It doesn't make sense. The idea is but the reason for that is not because we wanted to make more money out of it. The reason was that we heard our customer focus groups who wanted to trade in their cars. Because we asked our customers, why are you selling your car? Oh, I'm upgrading, or I want another car. And then they would ask us, okay, can you sell me a car? And we didn't have a platform. Now we have a platform where we can offer these cars to our customers. And we heard our customers when we heard their pain points. For example, one of the things that we found out was that in 15 minutes of test drive, how can I decide whether I should buy the car or not? We said, no problem, we'll give you 10-day return policy. So can you imagine that not only are we offering you an online service where you can sit at the comfort of your home on your couch and buy a car, we deliver it to you. We have the online payment gateway where you can pay it online. We have all the banks where we can give you finance. But on top of that, we'll also give you a 10-day return policy, no questions asked, and we give you a 2-year warranty because some of the customers came back and said, it's electronic. What if something happens to it after a month? Don't worry, we have got you covered. So we have a 2-year warranty that we give at each and every car. That is all to provide
in CarNap.
In CarNap. Because we want to provide that comfort to our customers. And that is where the data that we collected with the SellAnyCar, the knowledge that we collected with SellAnyCar is being used to provide another service that the customer wants. We are not selling a product that a customer doesn't want, right? We're selling a product and we have to keep ourselves updated. We have to keep up with the trends. Trends like payment gateways, like 20 years ago, everyone was dealing in cash. Today, everyone is dealing with cards. I should say 5 years ago, everyone was dealing with cards. Today, I don't even carry my wallet with me. I'm using my Apple Pay for all the transactions. Is crypto next? And I ask this question to everyone and most of them say, yeah, maybe. I say, no, it's already happening. In UAE, we have got supermarkets who are buying crypto, who are accepting crypto as a payment already.
So you too? CarNap is doing it too?
Not yet, but maybe why not?
Okay.
Right? But these are the trends that we need to understand. Why to build a product which we don't understand? And this is where we focus upon. For example, all the companies, or I should say most of the companies that I speak to, my friends, my colleagues, my partner, they are building websites. And I asked them one question to these senior leaders that you are building a website. Is it mobile? Is it desktop? Is it both? And they don't know. And when you go into detail, they are building a desktop website. I asked them, your customer is accessing you on a mobile or a desktop? And these are the questions that we have to understand. These are the trends that we have to understand for the customer. We build a website, we build an app because we know that most of our customers, more than 50% of our customers access us from their mobiles. So we need to ensure. Another example could be language. Like, for example, in UAE, you open any website, the homepage would be English with the option of you toggling back to Arabic. But in KSA, if you open any website, the default language is Arabic. I asked these guys that, do you know who your customer is? Like, is there an option of showing French language to the customer who is French? If you know your customer, you should be customizing it to the place where an English-speaking person should see English and Arabic-speaking person should see Arabic with the option of toggling observe. So this is somewhere that all the companies as a business, so we have to upgrade ourselves, we have to go there. But I think, we have to focus on the trends of the future.
Nice. Thank you for your time, AG. Definitely know now where to buy my next car in case
Absolutely.
I'm looking for a car in the region. It was a pleasure.